Have you ever lost a deal and you had no idea why?
Maybe I'm not good enough.
Yes, you are.
No.
Today we're going to be talking about why is body language important for sales, because here's the deal. If you don't know what is going on with body language, you feel confused in sales conversations. I'm Amy Walker, small business strategist and your business bestie. Here's what we're going to cover in today's video. I'm going to show you how much of the conversation is actually nonverbal, and it's going to blow your mind. Then I'm going to teach you the 5 things you do that kill the deal and you don't even know it was happening. I'm going to give you my recipe for coming across as confident and trustworthy in every conversation, because I want you to be able to close deals and have it be easy. I want you to be able to really get a feel for the people that you're talking to. That's what's really so much fun about business anyway, is when we create those client connections. That's why we love what we do. So let's do more of it.
Because we're connected.
And if you stay with me, I am going to answer the most asked body language question, which is probably why half of you are here. How do I know if someone's lying? I remember when I first started studying body language, I was really frustrated because I would get in these conversations and I would think, okay, it's going well. They're digging me, I'm feeling them, this is gonna be good. And then all of a sudden the answer was no, and I was like, well, what happened? I didn't even know what had happened. What is wrong with all these people?
What the hell is wrong with you people?
And then I went into this workshop and I'm studying body language, and all of a sudden I'm noticing my own body language was sending some pretty mixed signals. For example, I would say things like, this is such a great business opportunity. There's so much earning potential. Okay, does that look like a lot of earning potential? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
And then I would say things like, I love working with my team. Like, that's the best part of what I do. And I look like I'm literally wringing their necks. Because here's what was going on in my business at the time. It wasn't that I didn't believe that. I did love working with my team members. I did love literally wringing their neck. And I knew that there was a lot of money to be made because everybody else seemed to be making it. But my business was plateaued. So all of that frustration that was going on inside of my mind, that even though I put on the smile, my body was still showing like, yeah, I don't feel like I'm making a lot of money, and currently I'm frustrated, I want to wring my team's necks. And so I was giving off signals that were actually turning clients away, and they didn't even necessarily know why. Because here's the thing, not everybody processes body language. Like, most people don't sit there and go, oh, they just rub their legs. Not everybody does that, but everybody picks up on the vibe.
Clearly, there's a vibe going on.
You pick up on vibes. Think about it. When was the last time you walked into a room and you felt the vibe even though no one said anything? But you knew that either it was a good vibe or it was a bad vibe. Well, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. Let me know, what's your biggest question about body language? I'm happy to answer in the comments, but also it might turn into a future video if you're interested. So let's talk about verbal versus nonverbal communication. It's estimated that only 7% of the conversation is from the words that you say. 36% is tone of voice, and 57% is your nonverbal, which is your body language, your gestures, your mannerisms. So think about this. If I were to say, I love you, I love you, I love you, it's the same exact words, but it means something different in each one of those contexts.
You gotta say I love you back.
Dad, are you serious?
I wanna hear it.
You want to hear me
I
say
love
it?
you, Dad.
So let's talk about it. The 5 things you do that kill the deal. Number 1 is gates. So gates are any time that you're closing off yourself. Obviously this is a big gate, but this is also a gate. This is a gate. This is a gate. Anytime you're closing yourself off, it's basically like you have shut them out and you're putting up a protective barrier against them. So you want to be careful of gates and just keep your body language nice and open.
Let me in. Let me in.
The second thing you do that closes the deal is you start to disengage from the client. And the way that you show that is normally with your feet. It's you change direction. So you'll be talking and then all of a sudden your feet shift away, and it sends a signal that you're disconnecting and you want to go. And so the client will then start to feel that sense of like they're no longer there with you, and they'll want to kind of separate. The third thing that you do that kills the deal is you miss their mouth movements. Watch people's mouths in a non-creepy way. It is so informative. When a client has things that they want to say and you just keep talking and talking and talking, you're totally missing the mark. I mean, honestly, just basic sales, you should be listening more than you're talking anyway, but they will show you when they have something that they want to say. They'll do something like this.
And she said, "Ooh, a moment on the lips."
They'll lick their lips. So the mouth is going to scrunch down. That just simply means they have words that they want to say. Give them space to talk, and you get to listen.
I'm sorry. All I heard was blah, blah, blah.
Another way that you lose the deal is you don't pay attention to their personal space zones. So we all have like these layers around us. A stranger can be so close, a friend can be so close, an acquaintance maybe needs to be a little bit farther away, somebody that is a personal, like deep friend or your lover, they can be closer, but we have these different levels. And when you're approaching somebody, if you just go straight in, like maybe you're just trying to be super friendly and show that you're excited to meet them, but you can burst through their zones of personal space and they will really feel like accosted. And that's the very first impression that they get of you. So they'll give you little tells as you're walking towards someone, just watch. And when they flinch or they make a movement or they take one tiny step back, just stop there and reach out your hand and they'll come and meet you. And that way you've been invited into their personal space bubble instead of like just barreling in.
That's not a hug, I'm just grabbing the door for you. We're not there yet.
Last tip for you, things that you do that kill the deal is not looking at the client and making eye contact. And I get this because if you watch my videos at all, in fact, sometimes people say things about this like, look at the camera more. I'm like, I literally can't think unless I look around because I have to go find all my information. I'm very detail oriented, so I'll look to the top and the left because that's the left side of my brain. And then I have to make sure that once I find the information I was looking for, I come back and I look at the client. Create that connection. It's gonna build trust, it's gonna build rapport, and it's gonna help you be able to, again, keep an eye on what your client is saying, but they're not actually saying.
Are you having a staring contest? Just blink. Sweet Jesus.
All right, here's my recipe for coming across as confident and trustworthy in every conversation. You can't actually fake a lot of this. I mean, you can say the right words, you can try to use specific gestures, but you end up kind of looking like a clown, like, hey everyone, I'm so happy to see you. And it can be really awkward. So here's the strategy that I use. Your thoughts lead to your emotions, which generates your actions, which creates your results. I work on improving on all three places in order to create a better result. So if I want to appear confident and trustworthy, I'm going to start with thoughts that help me to think about myself, like declarations about being confident, creating rapport, creating connection. And I'm going to then work on feeling those kinds of emotions. So if I think those things, how do I feel about it? I feel good, I feel happy, I feel ready to be in the space of other people. And then I'm gonna pay attention to now, what would body language look like of somebody who is confident and is ready to connect and is trustworthy? And I'm going to simply work on all three at the same time so that I'm not trying to create something that's fake. You can't fake your subconscious. Body language is your subconscious talking. You cannot fake it. All you can do is change it. All right, now is the big moment. How can you tell if someone is lying? This is actually not the greatest body language question because there's no like one sign to tell if someone is lying. In fact, there's a book called Every Body by Joe Navarro that's written by he's an intelligence gatherer, like for the FBI. He would, read people's body language and assess the criminals. And he talked about how criminals especially, get really good at manipulating their face and their hands. And so he would watch for signs in their feet. The reality is most of you are not going to be so in tune that you're going to pick up on all these little things and be like, they're lying.
You're lying!
Your average customer, they're not trying to lie to you. They're lying to themselves. Do you get that? Like a lot of us are not honest with ourselves. We're saying what we want to be, but we're not actually saying how we actually feel. So the way that you can best use body language to see if somebody is lying is look for when things don't match up with what they say, and don't assume that they're lying, but just look at this as a really interesting opportunity to ask more questions and get more information. So for example, if somebody says they want to make a lot of money, and their hands look like a little bit of money, ask more questions. So, what would a lot of money look like to you? And what's your reasoning behind that? And, Do you have any concerns with that? And watch until the gestures open up and then they align with what they want to say. You may not know at this point in time all the little things with body language, but you do pick up on a vibe from people, and you have to trust your gut. And when something doesn't line up, just ask more questions.
I can't stand to be asked the same question 3 times.
So I know the real reason why you're here is because you want more sales in your business. So can I give you 2 other things that I think are going to help? 1, go check out my video on how to set good short-term goals so that you can make sure you're progressing towards what you want. And second, I would love to offer you my Sales and Marketing GPS for free. It's a survey. It's really simple. You tell us where you're at, we give you an improvement plan for where you need to go, and it's customized to you for your business. All right, my business bestie, thank you so much for being here, and I can't wait to see you back again.